Welcome to the studio. My name is Dave. I have taught thousands of lessons working as a musician over the past couple decades. And because I like to sneak life lessons into guitar lessons, my students joke about me being Guitar Dad. I have a good story to share with you in today's lesson. I teach the guitar program at a university and always try to help students the best I can. I remember what it was like in my late teens and early 20s, trying to figure life out, find where I fit in, what I'm going to do for a living, who I'm going to marry, and all the other really intense choices that happen around that time. I also view teaching as a service. The student trades money for my time and expertise. Because of this, if the student wants to talk about something not guitar related, I'm cool with it. Maybe it's something where I can speak from experience since I'm a little further up the road, or at least point them to some content that has helped me with similar issues. Some students have abused this in the past, if you can call it that. One time, while I was going over the course requirements for the semester, a student looked at me and said, "My friend so-and-so said just get you talking and I don't have to practice in here." What? My brain hurt for a second, thinking there's no way he just said that and meant it. But he was serious. There are two really dumb things about this. First, you just ratted out your friend, who by the way made a C in a beginner guitar course last semester. Second, at the end of this course, there is a graded test called a jury. It's a panel of instructors that watch you perform the chords, scales, arpeggios, and songs that we practiced this semester. Even if the lessons you're in don't have a set of requirements, I always encourage the student, there's no speed limit. The more you practice, the more you'll get out of an instructor. I wish more students would have the mindset that they're paying for a service and strive to get the most out of it they can. Don't cheat yourself getting skills you need for the field you want to get into. If you land a job, all of a sudden people are looking at you as the expert, and you're going to be the glass ceiling of talent for whatever team you lead. I don't know about you, but I want to be part of something great. I don't want to just be mediocre, and I don't want to hold people around me down by not developing the talents that God gave me. I have a lot of conversations with students about practice. Here are some examples of a few of them. Diving into practice can be daunting at first, but don't get overwhelmed. Here's some great steps to follow from beginner through expert level. If you're a beginner, the best place to start is by learning chord shapes and scale shapes. Take one key, for instance, like the key of G. This is the guitar key, especially on acoustic. Here are the chords that you can learn. G, C, D, E minor. Learn those shapes first, and then learn the scale pattern that happens around them like this. Continue practicing up and down that scale pattern until it gets comfortable. If you need to slow that down, YouTube has a speed function. For intermediate players, I always suggest playing arpeggio shapes and moving the scale patterns around the fretboard. So if I played in the key of G right here, I can do the same thing in the key of A right here. And my arpeggio shape is still the same for the G chord, the C chord, the D chord, E minor. But I took it up a whole step. Now this is A, D, E, and F sharp minor. And then my scale pattern stays the same. And you can play around with different scale patterns. If you need some more scale patterns, send me a message and I'll shoot you some. If you're upper intermediate or expert level, it's time to start blending some of these arpeggio shapes with scale patterns and making melodies in them. If I'm in the same key, in the key of A, and I want to blend an arpeggio shape, what I can do is start with a G shape and roll up into the E shape, and then roll right up into the D chord shape, and then up to C, and then from C you get to A. And you can start blending all these arpeggio shapes together and the scale patterns. So if I've got a note like this, and that's the one of the key, I can start blending this G shape and I can start playing chord progressions through the scale patterns, through the arpeggios. All of these building blocks of music, they compound and they build on top of each other, and then all of a sudden you can span the entire fretboard and play a chord progression and play a melody. It's just scales and arpeggios. Here's some takeaways from today. First, always try to get the most you can out of lessons. With your practice, with your attitude, your instructor wants you to be good. And if you show effort, you can move as fast as you want to and get the most value out of what you're paying for lessons. Don't cheat yourself by just trying to get the instructor talking and skipping out on practice, please. Second, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're frustrated because you feel like you've plateaued in your ability, find a guitar friend and learn something from them. My best ideas are always stolen from other people. Even if that person is not as technically proficient as you are, their thought for melody is going to be different than yours, and you always have something to learn. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Turn your hat around, make it look like you're coming back.